a nice shower and put on my onesie, which is under this Pursue the Smile hoodie, which is not available for sale yet. I think I should order them. I have a website to sell such things. If you're wondering, it's PursueTheSmile.com. But I was just going down YouTube. I was just on YouTube. And more frequently, people are selling stuff, like selling all their stuff. And they try to do it in a way that you don't feel like you're being sold to. But it's very, I don't like it. I do have things for sale and I do want people to buy the things, but I think a time will come for that. So maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just not far enough along where it matters to me to be pushing these things, right? Or there's like a lot of gimmicks on YouTube as well. And so I think about that with my own branding, me being your favorite social worker. I think that's innocent enough. And then encouraging you to pursue the smile by prioritizing the Lord, your physical health, and persistent education. But my thing is, I really want this for people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think any problem you have in life can be solved by embracing the Lord, going out for a walk, and rewiring your brain to learn something. If for nothing else, it'll take your mind off of whatever your problem might be. I really do believe that. And so I guess I don't feel necessarily like I need to sell you something to, what am I trying to say? I have things for sale, but that is not why I'm on YouTube. I really, as your favorite social worker, I really, really, really want people to feel less alone, right? Alexa, why hair body to head ratio shaped like the pyramids? That's a weird statement. That's an interesting statement. Hi, Parker. Ba-doop. So we are here today. It's the end of the day. And as it would go with these live streams, I'm learning how to play ukulele. I took my own advice. So I was just saying, my advice to solve any problem is to prioritize the Lord, your physical health, and persistent education. And I just went through such a long, like such a deep depression, and was forced to put my money where my mouth is. And so the depression lifted, and while I'm not a ukulele expert, I've learned a few chords, so that's the persistent education part. I've lost like 12 pounds by walking. I just started walking. That's the physical health part. And then with the Lord, I will be honest, I kind of stopped praying. But what I did do is start to volunteer at my church. I leaned into serving the church, and the result of that is that I have closer relationships with some of the people at the church I attend, yeah, so I mean, it worked. I was my own guinea pig. So anyway, we've got A minor, we've got G, we've got C, and we have F, which is super sketchy. You see that? It's kind of sketchy. But let's see what this guy is talking about. He's gonna play. He like plays and talks a lot. He really likes playing his ukulele, and I love that for him.
Is that, I mean, so many people think that to learn any instrument, ukulele, guitar, piano, we have to have loads of skill and learn loads of chords. But in fact, if we just learn a handful of the basics, we will then have the skill to actually be able to get really small and want to play with other people, get a sing along, make loads of songs. That is the purpose of the time. I will be doing tutorials of songs.
He's still talking.
Very soon. I'll link to as many chord sheets as I can that you'll be able to follow in the description.
We could go back to my own song.
But what we're going to be looking at now is those two strumming patterns with this chord sequence that I would recommend that we do.
We've got to focus here, right? So let me tell you how this is.
You should be learning at this sort of level as soon as you've got this.
What I just played, I learned in maybe like 2 weeks or so, but I write songs. So I learned a few chords. This is how this has been going for 2 weeks. I learn enough chords to play to a song that I wrote. And what I would like to do is get through these lessons so that I can learn more chords, but it's difficult. I lose focus. I'm going to let him talk a little bit more, and then I'm going to talk about my mail lady. Oh, thank you. Moomin? They say, excuse me, I just wanted to say you have a beautiful smile. Hope you have a great day. I was thinking about that earlier. My cousin is a retired cop, and I love him so much. I think I don't have a best friend right now, but if I did, it would be him. And he's very serious. Like my personality, he's the opposite. And so while I was going through a hard time, I kind of felt bad because he was being kind of silly at one point, and it was against his personality, but he was being silly so that I would smile. And I got to thinking, like, the tagline of this channel is Pursue the Smile. And so I like to get people to smile. I like dad jokes and corny jokes and this kind of thing. So thank you for saying I have a beautiful smile. A smile can solve the problem. It can. A smile can trick you into feeling better. And myself included, we're so selfish. And we think about ourselves and our own smiles and what we can do to elevate our moods. But part of the equation to feeling better, I strongly believe, is you want to be of service. So I have a friend, and I call her the kindest person I know. And I was feeling sad. This was years ago. I was feeling so sad. And she says, go do something for somebody else. And so out of that came such wisdom. And I wish, and it's an empty wish, because you can't control people, but I wish we all had more of a focus on helping each other smile than we do, right? We're very focused on our own smiles and what we're going to get out of situations, what we're going to get out of people. And I don't know how well that works out in the end. Somebody can tell me, right? If you just focus on yourself exclusively and never seek to serve somebody else, how does that, do you get ahead? Because even in business, the point is to see a problem and find a solution. That's business. And then you sell the solution. That's what you're doing. So even in that, anyway, while there's only one person watching, I'm going to try to get through this video.
To look at any song that you want.
A smile can solve the problem. That's so true.
You know which songs you can take on. It makes everything so much easier and allows you to get the result that you want really quickly. So let's have a look at the easier one of the two, I would say. The down, down, up, up, down. The down, down, up, up, down.
Easy.
Strumming pattern. And we would do this strumming pattern once per chord.
Okay. Okay, so there's a twist. We're gonna do C, G, A minor, F. Okay. All right, we got it. I thought that was going to be more difficult.
That's the first option to enable you to do a whole chunk of songs. A different strumming pattern or something else would allow you to do another chunk of song. That's how it works. What we're going to be
Here we go.
Is this down, down, up, down, changing chord and lifting off after that last down strum. So let's have a go for that now.
We're gonna go for it.
I'll give you some more tips in a second, but let's go for broke. Let's go for
Here we go.
confidence in you. From the C major chords. In 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, we got it. I wonder what this next week will bring. Last week, I told some lies. And so one thing about me is that I don't lie. Like as a practice, as a moral code, I don't lie. And so last week I did lie several times, and what I plan on doing tomorrow is correcting those lies, correcting what I lied about, correcting that. Because we're just human at the end of the day, right? Like you can say, I don't do X, I eat healthy all the time. Even the person who is a health nut at some point is going to, eat something that's not good for them. And so That's kind of what happened with me. But kind of like the healthy person eating a donut, you have to go back, you have to go to the gym and correct that, or drink more water, or cleanse, do a fast, something like that. And so that's what I need to do tomorrow and will do, because what I lied about, nobody will ever know if I don't say it. And I think that's even worse. You know what I mean? Because I know. So, yeah. I've been a little quiet today, kind of reflective, but I'll tell you what the title is. I went to the post office today, and I saw my mail lady in plain clothes. She was there doing something else, maybe checking her own P.O. box. And I said to her, "You're my mail lady." And she said, "What's your address?" And I told her, and she knew who I was, even though we hadn't met. And so, for context, I live in Montana, and my name is Lakeitha. There's not going to be another Lakeitha in Montana. So I guess my name was recognizable. But my point is, I really like this community that I live in, that I feel free to be like, "You're my mail lady." And my mail lady knows who I am. Or even today, I went for a walk at a horse park, and came across many people with their dogs, and ended up in a conversation with a lady with a Great Dane that she says acts like a toddler. And I really appreciate that. And I was saying last night, I'm kind of looking at land and like where to set up shop. And I found something that's like 5 hours away, and it's like, yeah, it's cheap, but I won't be near my community. And then I was thinking, like, how to even, it's 10 acres, so like you could invite people to start your own community, but that doesn't, I think there's so many variables in that. So anyway, back to the drawing board. I'm just kind of looking around in my own neck of the woods, where I can build just a little tiny home, on some acres, grow my own food. I don't know how to slaughter animals. If I did, that would be a bonus, because then I could just be completely self-sufficient. And I don't want to learn how to, how to slaughter an animal. That's not very appealing to me, but let's give it another go. It was Gandhi who said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And how do you do that when the world doesn't participate in that changing. And I think a lot of it is that people are struggling. And so when you're struggling and you get into survival mode, it's going to be me or you. And we're not thinking about building a community, but hear me out. If we're in survival mode, that's the perfect time to start a community. But here in North America, and I don't know where you guys are right now, but in North America, we have what's called an individualistic society. And we're pretty honed in on like, these are my accomplishments and this is what I'm doing. And so the individual can extend maybe to like your kids, but not your grandma or whatever. Like, I don't think it's a common thought to buy land and the whole extended family comes to live here and raise buildings and create a community. I don't know anybody who's done that. I know people do that in North America, but I personally don't know anybody who has done that. And I think most people, I don't, this is transparency. Like, I don't want to live in a community with my family, right? But that's because it's fractured. You know, my dad was a Rolling Stone and had multiple children from different women. And so I don't really, like, I've met them, you know, I might talk to a couple nieces or something like that. But, you know, I think my biological father laid the groundwork for a fractured family. And so for that, we don't know each other. So why would it be like, hey, come on, let's make this community? And then as far as friends are concerned, I'm of an age where people are married and have children. And so they're focused immediately, like I was saying, on their own kids, on their own nuclear family. And the thought process I see is never like, let's build around this. Do you know what I mean? It's where we live. It's just kind of like that. So I don't know what the solution is. If you want to be the change you wish to see in the world, you do need the world to participate in that with you. Otherwise, you could get hurt. You could get hurt trying to be the change. And so to kind of rein it into like a Christian perspective, because what I'm saying is actually not a very good Christian worldview at all. My faith would dictate that we serve one another selflessly. We die to ourselves and serve other people. We also live in a fallen, sinful world. So while you are serving me, I am also serving me, and we don't get anywhere. And so you get all the pain. You get all the pain of doing that. And eventually, because we're still humans, you stop trying, so you stop giving. It's like a cycle. And I'm not sure what to do about it, like what the wisdom would be behind that. You know, I am a social worker, and so I do believe in serving others. I do believe in serving my community. But when you see how you're not being served, how at some point, if I don't protect myself, and I'm just using me as an example, but I know many people feel this way. At some point, if I'm giving from my cup, then my cup is empty and everyone else just kind of goes away. So then at some point, I start protecting my own cup. And I think there's wisdom in that. But it's tricky. There's like a nuance to it, right? La resistance. Thank you. What does your name mean? I gotta go, but I'm curious what the resistance part is of la resistance. You know, there's a lot we should be resisting right now. I'm not really like a super cushy like mushy person that's like, we should resist the hate. It's like, yes. But there needs to be action. Like one thing I say, and it's a super unpopular opinion, that we live in a very entitled condition currently in our country. And so there's this hot debate about minimum wage. And so it's super nuanced, but they want the minimum wage. It was $15 an hour, and some people did that. But now, because inflation, it would be more like $18 an hour, right? For like working at McDonald's or something like that, like an entry level position. And so what I see sometimes on my Facebook are completely, and we're a big age at this point, completely able-bodied people complaining about minimum wage. They don't even bring into the conversation people with disabilities or the elderly, or they don't even bring that into the conversation. They're just talking about themselves. They are between 30 and 40 years old, able-bodied, smoking weed, and making like the bare minimum. And so, and even that, there's nuance because there's mental health issues and this kind of thing. But I would say a good solution is to create a business where you then pay people the $18 an hour. Like that would be a very proactive response. But then I think I was just watching this one video. People do that sometimes and find out that the $18 an hour is pretty rough to be paying people, and you do have to front some of the risk. Like I have this clothing brand I'm starting, and all of the money came from my personal checking account, right? And so if I were to hire somebody to help me manage this business, how much of a cut do you get when I front loaded this thing and I'm the brains behind this thing and all my connections, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't to say that like people don't deserve to be paid a living wage, but there's nuance to it, right? But I do think a good solution is to create opportunities for people. If someone wants to work, it would be great if there was a job that suited their skills for them to work that position, and it paid them a living wage. Also, you got to have marketable skills too, right? At some point you gotta, and so for that, Google has like Google University, or you can learn a lot of things. I'm learning ukulele right now. Maybe you'll find me on the street corner one day on a Saturday morning playing the ukulele with an upturned hat for money. You don't know. That's something I'm not above that. I'm not above making some coins. I was actually just thinking getting into like babysitting or something like that. but it's a time issue. My time is so precious to me. I want to make sure I'm maximizing getting a good ROI on my time. At any rate, it's time for me to go wash the dishes and turn in whatever happened last week. Tomorrow's Monday. Monday's the best day. People get so bent out of shape about Mondays. Monday is the best day because you can right your wrongs from the previous week. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to correct my mistakes from last week. I'm going to do that tomorrow. So, at any rate, I'm 3+Kei, your favorite social worker, and I will talk to you guys later.